We're moving into the work plan now. I know you all were just anxiously awaiting that, and that's why you stayed through what looked like a snowstorm but appears to have cleared already. So, on your tables, while we're waiting for the PowerPoint, you have a 3,238-page work plan document. Okay, maybe not quite that long. Oh, we'll just cruise right through those slides. Oh, that was our agenda. There was Zoran, then we had the Ed Design Lab, and then you had some lunch topics. There's the agenda again. Look how fast we went through that. So you have the work plan. You also had it emailed to you as a participant, and you also, if none of those ways of finding that document are accessible to you, it is on our Student Success Center website on the State Board's website. So you all should have access to it. What I wanted to do was to not go through all 17 pages, but to just highlight a couple of things and then take some time and space for folks to really dig into one or two of the essential practices that have sort of surfaced in the earlier work today with the Ed Design team. So, no problem, right? 15 essential practices, we got this. How many of you are super excited to see a list that long? Thank you. The guy in the back is like, I don't even know what this is, but I'm super excited to see a list that long. Thank you for that. So here's what's happening. You all are doing much of this work, right? Already, this is about identifying areas that you can prioritize that will have high impact on closing equity gaps and on increasing our meaningful credentials in this work, moving our students along. So this looks a little less daunting, maybe, I've heard. So it categorizes things in different ways. It's not the only way to cluster these things. And these things are not individual or siloed. They are intertwined in ways that make a Venn diagram look like a 3D sphere. Okay? So this is the last but not least slide, and then we're going to move into the activity. One of the things that I think I keep hearing from folks is that this is a lot. When I sent it out on December 23rd, because I thought no one would be on their email, I got responses rapidly from people who opened it. And they said, holy cow, do you know how big this is? I'm like, yeah, we drafted it. It is big. And it's doable. You all are doing amazing work in this space. Find what you think are the highest impact areas that you have opportunities to do based on your data and highlight those. And let's go after those this year. Let's get after those this year. So this is a sample of thinking about, if I'm thinking about faculty and student engagement and staff engagement, what might I want to think about? So what are some potential process measures? So faculty, staff, and students are broadly engaged in interdisciplinary teams to support equity-centered guided pathways implementation. How many of you think that that's something you could get together? Cheryl, thank you. We've got like 3 people in the room. So here's what I want to suggest. How many of you look at the second one and say, we've got these awesome, diverse, cross-functional teams. We've got a communication strategy ready to rock and roll. No, it's January and it's been snowing and we're all tired. So here's what I think folks can think about. You have an opportunity to pause this afternoon. Think about what you want to focus on and prioritize that and think about how you can do that. Just as importantly, what can you choose to let go of in your daily work that you believe is not going to have the same high impact you currently are looking at for this strategy, whatever that is. Because the reality is we all only have 24 hours in a day and none of you are wandering around looking for something else to do like guided pathways reform work. So that change element is non-trivial because change means you're letting go of some things that matter to you and that are really important work because it all feels really important right now. You have to identify what you can choose to prioritize and then communicate that effectively. So we're moving into team time. So using what you've learned, you've spent some time together with both your college teams, your peers around the state. Using what you've learned, look at one essential practice area and identify what process income you think will change, outcome, not income, you think will change, and what early momentum metrics you think it will impact. So if I'm looking at a college that I was looking at earlier and I saw some really exciting things to celebrate around their college level math trend, I might say, our college level math within 1 year trend is not happening in that way. I really want to think about how we do that because I know two things. One, high impact practice. If we shift the needle on college level math in 1 year, the needle on credentialing changes. I might think about last year when we had a lot of conversation about program entry, low, mid, high wage program entry, and who's entering which program and why. I might want to explore that and think about how does exploring pathways provide us better information about that for and with our students. And I might want to think about who I need to engage in that. It is all college engagement. It is not all college engagement in every meeting. So we're going to take the next 45 minutes and have folks get with your college team, identify a practice, and start sort of explicating why you want to choose that practice, and then we're going to talk about it. All right. Okay, so we are going to circle back up. I see folks getting their bags and their coats. And I just want to give a shout out for a couple of things. Normally we close out with a sharing session, but I know folks are anxious to get on the road. So what I would like to do is say a great big thank you to the folks who shared, Bob, Dina, Heather, and others. Diane, let me think here. Who else is on tap? Michelle, impromptu. And others. So thank you so much. I know this was kind of a wild and hairy day to get here, particularly with the weather. And thanks to our friends who live stream joined us. I have gotten more texts than I expected about how they could hear us, which was a miracle. So that's fantastic. And people seem to be really quite engaged in doing launch parties on their campuses or in their homes. So anyway, thank you. We will have more to come. Just one last note, keep an eye out for your email. We'll be doing a follow-up email that provides you information about the upcoming webinars for the work plan. So if folks have questions about how to wrap through that work plan, we'll have, I think, 3 in the next 6 weeks so that you all have some support to do that. So thank you. Have a fabulous and safe drive home.
Thank you, Kristi.